And welcome back. There's 340 again. There they are. And you're clapping at home. Welcome back, everybody, to Dr. Bob Lee. And December 8th, the Craft of War Writing Workshop is going to take place at Mount Morris Park at the library over there. And joining us with all the details, we have co-instructors Jeremy Warneke, John LoSasso, and instructor. She's waiting. She's waiting. I know she's waiting. She's waiting. Say it again.
Siobhan Adcock.
There you go. Siobhan Adcock. Give them a big round of applause, everybody. You're waiting to see if I'm going to get it right. That's all you see. You're leaning on the edge of your seat. Well, we have a whole lot to discuss right here. Talk about what you guys are about and what you guys are doing.
So we have a writing workshop that's been going on since 2016 in the Bronx. The Manhattan organization that's collaborating with us has been in existence since 2013. And we largely try to help people tell their stories, whether it's their own personal stories or a story they're dying to get out and or read themselves. So that's the gist of what we do. It's geared around a theme, war, whether or not you've actually personally served in the military or you're a family member of the military.
You encourage vets to get involved?
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm a vet.
You're a vet?
I'm not.
No, but
But I have family members who were veterans, and I got involved via, I was looking to write. I had retired from teaching. I was wanted to get my writing chops revived. And,
We have another educator here.
yeah, yes, yes, indeed. And that's how I met Jeremy, and I went from participant to instructor.
All right.
I'm also a family member of a service member, and the Manhattan version of the Voices from War workshop welcomes veterans and also families of service members to write about what the stories are that are important to them, and also to build community among people who want to tell these stories and want to hear them.
Well, thank you all for your service and your families for their service also to our country. You know, it takes a whole lot. You served in Vietnam?
Iraq.
Iraq.
No.
I took
I'm
you
not
back
that
too
old.
far. I took you back too far.
Right.
Well, there's
It
still
happens.
people-
It happens.
There's still people out that served in World War II.
Yeah.
A few.
That's right. Bless them.
Few.
But yes, how did you come up with this?
I've been a participant of these type of workshops since 2009, largely Manhattan-based ones. Voices from War is based in Manhattan, NYU, et cetera. And prior to 2016, I actually taught a reading discussion group at the Morris Park Library. And at the very end of it, I thought, because it was successful. It was a series done throughout the city, but mine was probably the most successful.
Yeah.
And so I thought about, I could turn this into a writing workshop. And then
Yeah.
speaking with Voices from War, Cara Krautz, who's been extremely helpful, she said, yeah. And she said, here, why don't you apply for this grant through the Bronx Council of the Arts? And so,
And you applied and you got it.
and we've been here ever since.
There you go. All right. So are you looking for people to get involved or people to volunteer, or what are you looking for right now?
Yeah, I think we're always thirsty for people wanting to tell their story. Really, participants more than anything. Because, for example, Morris Park, where we teach, we have a large Yemenis community.
Yeah.
And the war in Yemen's pretty big right now. So, things like that we're always looking for, not just vets from like Iraq and Afghanistan. So war affects everyone, whether they realize it or not.
Yeah. Is there a story that stands out in your mind that somebody has told, or your personal story that jumps out?
Yeah,
at
so
you?
many. I mean, one of the great things about this workshop is that it's, for many of the people who participate, the first time that they've had the opportunity to put some of their experiences into writing. And part of what that does is it opens up that world and that experience to other people, to other readers and audiences, but it also opens it up to the writer, him or herself. And that is such an important process and such an important part, I think, of the community building that we do. It's part of what creates a sense of brotherhood and sisterhood among the people who are in the workshop. And it also, I think, creates a sense of openness about stories and experiences that really is very meaningful.
Yeah.
A lot of veterans and families of service members are kind of holding a lot to themselves, feeling like there's not an audience for that. but there really is. And first and foremost, we want to help people find it among the classrooms.
I guess it could be sort of therapeutical.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, they're
think
just
so.
getting it out of their minds and putting it on paper.
Well, for me, I was fortunate. I joined the workshop, and within 6 months, I got my first published piece.
Yeah.
It was a story based in the Civil War, actually, and that was a great boost for someone such as myself, who always wanted to write, had always written diaries and journals, but had taught English, but never actually went to write, and I got published and through the Craft of War, and so it's led to more publishing journeys. So it's now I could call myself a writer.
Yeah. And you'd be
Wow, this
surprised.
happened to me.
Yeah, and that journey is really common among the people who participate in the workshops from Voices from War and also the Craft of War writing. You'd be surprised how many people, once they've had an opportunity to present their work, get it workshopped with a group of like-minded writers and readers, a lot of our students and participants go on to publish, which is really exciting.
Yeah, it
very
is.
good.
Wow, have that publishing under your belt.
Yeah.
Say, I'm a writer.
Yes.
It's a big deal.
Good
And
feeling.
Yeah.
we also offer the opportunity for people to read in front of audiences for the first time. So this Saturday, for example, one of the things we'd love is for people to attend a reading of the participants in the Craft of War Writing and Voices from War workshops together on Saturday at 3 o'clock, the 8th
Yes.
of December,
Yep.
at the Morris Park Library.
Oh, great. All
Be
right.
Our first ever reading in the Bronx.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yes.
Excellent. How can more people get involved in either writing or coming to maybe participate and read? Or you guys do all the reading?
No. The participants will read their pieces.
Got it.
So we had seasons that began in the spring and the fall. We've concluded this fall workshop last 2 weeks ago, Jeremy.
Yeah.
So that we will see if we'll have another workshop open up in the spring. Usually there are 10 sessions. It's open, it's free, for people to come. Conflict is something that we all experience, whether it's war, it's open to family members. And
Yeah,
be surprised how many people are family members. We've had people discover that they had family. They thought, no one in my family was in the war. Then they tell people they're in this workshop, and I'm a veteran. The many veterans don't tell their story, especially our generation of Vietnam War veterans.
Yeah.
They've hid their stories.
See, I told you. Look,
Oh, yeah. One of
it's a
our
Vietnam War. See?
one of our participants, Vietnam vet, he's come, I think, since this very second workshop, the
Yes.
past 3 years.
Yeah.
Comes from Manhattan.
Yeah.
In fact, he had a fear of the Bronx until he came here, and he loves it here.
Opening new
That's
doors.
the other unexpected.
Did anybody ever want to come up and talk about the war in their communities? Because sometimes they can suffer from
PTSD.
from
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
from things that happen in our community.
One of the things we like to say in our workshop is that there are many wars and many voices, and we're open to experiences of writing about and hearing about all of those. The workshop itself is open to a really diverse range of people from all the different branches of service, all the different wars. We have Iraq, Afghanistan, we have
it.
Vietnam, we have contractors who were in Iraq. So there's many different ways of experiencing war and conflict, and all of them, I think, are important to explore in writing, and I think this is a great place to do it.
Yeah.
And, as Jeremy mentioned, one of the great things about it, too, is that it's free. It's not always easy to find a free, open, welcoming, creative writing workshop like this. So.
And of course, we're open and we promote love.
That's
We
right.
do.
I'm
But
seeing the
we
word
like to
open
hear
over
about
your
it because
shoulder.
when you talk
Yeah.
about it, you can make corrections.
Absolutely.
And I think it's a wonderful thing what you guys are doing in our community. So you said you have the sessions coming up, and you said, was it 12 weeks? Or?
There are 10,
10
weeks,
10
in the
weeks.
Bronx and 12 weeks in
Are you
Manhattan.
doing 12?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So
and
these are for people who want to
who
put
want
the
to
pen
write.
to the paper.
Yeah, yeah.
And they don't have to be veterans, nor do they have to have served in war. As you said, the war in the neighborhoods and
Yeah.
war, many people have experienced tough times no matter what, and we need to get their story out. We tried to get people to express his or her story.
Fiction, nonfiction.
Fiction, memoir,
Poetry.
poetry, whichever genre fits
Floats
you.
your boat.
Yeah.
And
Whatever floats your
we
war in
encourage
your
you.
mind.
We encourage you to put it on paper and
Yeah.
share it with the community and see that there are others who share your story.
Yeah.
That's excellent. And you can learn how to become a writer.
That's right.
Yeah.
So spring sessions will start in January, probably at the end of the month, and
Not for
information-
us.
Not for not for
yeah.
Bronx. It's always later than that.
Yeah, we
later
start
than
in
that.
March in the Bronx.
Yeah, yeah.
Information is on voicesformore.org.
Voicesformore.org.
Yeah.
I was just actually that. Voices for More. You've been watching the show.
We learn quick learner.
Voicesformore.org.
Yes.
You thank you guys one more time. You are.
Jeremy Warneke.
John LoSasso.
Siobhan Adcock.
You see, you took part of my job. And you are from. You got to say it all together though. We are from.
Voices for More.
Voices for More,
and
Craft of War Writing.
There you go. We put it together.
Yes.
We're partnering.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for stopping by.
Thank you for
Okay.
having us.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Good
Bob.
luck with everything, and thank you guys for your service.
Thank you.
We'll take a quick break right here, but stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Open next.